Hi, it's Sarah here. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. We're going to be doing a talk today on healing your inner child. Your inner child is that part of you that feels very fearful and very vulnerable. If you look up what is the inner child on the internet, you're going to find different answers. Some websites may say it is a part of your subconscious mind. Some websites say it is a subpersonality of your ego. My theory is that it is a combination of your body, because your body actually has its own consciousness and awareness, a combination of your body and a part of your ego called your id. So your ego is split into three parts: your superego, your ego, and your id. And the id is responsible for your safety. So it has to do with food, water, and procreation, that kind of thing. So my theory is a combination of the id and the body, but it doesn't actually really matter what it is. It is the part of you that feels very fearful and feels vulnerable. And because of this, it is your inner saboteur. But once healed, it can become a great ally. And you will find healing your inner child has a huge impact on all areas of your life. Now, it's not an instant job. Healing your inner child can take a while, but it's not difficult to do. It's something that you can do by yourself, and it just takes perseverance. So, symptoms that you have an inner child that needs healing. The first one, that you feel a lot of fear. Actually, you feel a lot of any emotion. Do you feel a lot of fear, a lot of shame, a lot of depression? You might find yourself sabotaging your good ideas. So you can have this good idea, and then 3 seconds later, you've got all this, but what if, I don't think that's a good idea anymore. So sabotaging your good ideas. You tend to overreact to situations, and this actually is for your safety. When an inner child's hurt, it has a lot of safety mechanisms, and overreacting is one of them. It's very sensitive because it feels very vulnerable. You take criticism personally. The inner child, it feels vulnerable. It doesn't like actually being criticized, so it takes criticism personally. You act like a child in that you have temper tantrums. You might sulk, you might slam the doors, you might throw crockery, that kind of thing. You use anger as self-defense. So anger is a self-defense mechanism to keep people away. Nobody's going to come near you, are they, if you're angry at them? So it is purely a self-defense mechanism. You might find yourself trying to have one thought, but this unbidden thought comes into your head. So you'll be trying to think one way in a positive way, and you get slam dunked by this negative thought coming in. The same with the feeling. You might be just trying to have a positive reaction to an experience. All of a sudden you get slam dunked by this negative feeling coming in. You have strange sensations in your body. So I had for many years like this feeling of a tight band around my head, and every time I tried to be happy, it felt like my head was being squeezed by this band. Also, I had when I was healing my inner child at the beginning, it was like she was sticking needles in me. So you can have strange sensations in your body, and I would say anything goes. You might have a strong need to please. Again, it's self-mechanism, isn't it? You're less likely to be told off if you're trying to do your best to please somebody or keep somebody quiet. And also you might find yourself taking on people's baggage, and you might do that purely as a self-defense mechanism too. You might find yourself very tearful. Do you burst into tears at the slightest drop of a hat? Do you want to go and run and hide all the time? Maybe not literally, but is that what you feel like doing? Do you have suicidal thoughts? An inner child that's very fearful and very vulnerable doesn't always want to be here. So they might push you towards having suicidal thoughts. Perfectionism again, self-defense mechanism. You know, you try to be as perfect as you can so people can't find faults in you, and you're less likely to be rejected. You overanalyze everything. Again, this is a way to make sure that you're safe. You overanalyze everything. You look at everything in the slightest detail. If somebody says something to you, what is the deeper meaning behind that? You know, you're always looking for the deeper meaning just to check that you're safe. Life always seems to be a struggle. Do you find yourself taking the hard path all the time? Again, this is your little inner saboteur in the way. They might not love themselves very much, so they're not going to make your life easy. Are you easily emotionally hurt? Does it not take much to wound you emotionally? Are you easily influenced by other people? Again, this is a bid not to stand out from the crowd. The inner child likes to stay small and hidden, so they'll go along with what everybody else does. You have a tendency to think things are your fault. So if something's not going right or if something happens, you have a tendency to blame yourself. You might find it difficult to forgive yourself and others. This forgiving yourself is purely because you have the most inner child problems stem from beliefs that it's their fault, they're naughty, they're bad, that kind of thing. If you find it hard to forgive others, it is because that is purely self-defense. The inner child has a view that if you forgive somebody, it means that they can come back into your life and they might hurt you again. You might find it hard to love yourself. Again, those same reasons. You're feeling the inner child has a belief that they're naughty or they're bad. Your body might be carrying a lot of shame and a lot of guilt, and that makes it actually hard for you to love yourself. You might have low self-esteem, weak boundaries, so people treat you like a doormat. Do you always like to play it small and safe, not stand out from the crowd? Pessimism. Are you a bit of a pessimist? Always worried that things are going to go wrong? Stuck in victim mode. So that is, there are lots of symptoms of being in victim mode, but the main one is that you tend to blame others for everything that happens to you. Lacking confidence. Again, they have the belief that everything's their fault, they must be doing something wrong. Lack of self-respect. Again, it's all due down to those beliefs. And also carrying the emotions of things like shame and guilt. Strange dreams. So I had some very strange dreams. I often had times when I woke up holding my breath. I would wake up and feeling like my head was going to burst, and then realize I was holding my breath. And then Spirit showed me what was actually going on was that I was having a dream that I was actually in a swimming pool underwater, so I would be holding my breath so I didn't drown. This was my inner child trying to kill me off. I also had lots and lots of dreams where I would be looking after somebody's children or somebody's animals, and I would forget to feed them, or forget to give them water, forget to look after them, and they would die. And I would feel really guilty and really ashamed. And this was because purely I was carrying a lot of shame and a lot of guilt in my body. You might be over-controlling. Do you excessively plan every little detail in your life? Again, self-defense. Make sure you're safe. Childish behavior, we kind of talked on before, but it can be anything. I have a friend, and he loves to speed in his car, and he has been caught quite a few times and has some hefty fines, and he still does it. And you can see in his face when he talks about it, it's that inner child trying to cause trouble. And he can't control it. So they are the main symptoms that you have an inner child that needs healing. So what are the main causes? Well, beliefs. So you come into this world with certain beliefs that then get triggered usually by your parents or when you're young, and so you have to work on them to clear them or overwrite them. You also take on a lot of beliefs when you are a child, mainly before the age of 7. Now, if you had an easy childhood with supportive parents, you're likely to have quite a good belief system, quite a positive belief system. But if you had a hard childhood, your parents weren't supportive, weren't very nice to you, or you had hard teachers, or you were bullied, you're likely to have beliefs along the lines of, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, it's my fault, it must be something that I've done, I'm bad, I'm naughty, I'm not safe to be here, I'm unworthy, I'm undeserving. Those kind of beliefs. And these beliefs, when they're triggered, they play as mind tapes over and over again in your mind. Now, you can't consciously hear them, thank goodness, because you would be insane within a few seconds. But what can hear them is your body. So your body is hearing these mind tapes over and over again. And, your body is hearing mind tapes. I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, I'm not safe. So what do you think your body's going to be feeling? Your body's going to be feeling fear, shame, guilt, those kind of emotions. And then what happens is your body is feeling those. Your ego comes in. So your ego, which is your personality, has a role to keep you safe. And especially we talked about the id. The id is all about your survival. So your id, your ego, it picks up on these feelings of on your body, and it feels threatened. It feels it's under threat. So then your ego then also produces feelings of unworthiness, undeserving, fear, anxiety, guilt, shame, shock, grief, and the list is endless, isn't it? And then it will come in, it's a little voice you hear in your head, what if blah blah blah, what if blah 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 blah. And so before you know it, you might be, somebody might have been asking you on a date, but you have this belief that you're not good enough or you're not lovable, and before you know it, you've been sabotaged by your body and by your ego, and you end up not going on the date. Now, your body, bless it, as I said, has its own consciousness and awareness, but your body believes everything you tell it to be true. It believes these mind tapes to be true. No matter how stupid and ridiculous some of them can be, your body believes them to be true. It cannot tell the difference between what is true or not. The same with your subconscious mind, where your beliefs are held. It cannot tell the difference what is true or not. It just acts as like a computer with whatever data you put in it. So, just to show you an example, if you shut your eyes and imagine you have half a cut lemon in your mouth, and you start chewing on that cut lemon, and you can taste that sharpness, that bitterness, that sourness as you swallow it around, what starts to happen? You start to produce more saliva because your body feels that your teeth are going to be, the enamel in your teeth needs saving, so you'll produce more saliva to keep your enamel safe. To give you another example, imagine shutting your eyes and having, or get a piece of food, and try this actually, put a piece of food in your hand, shut your eyes. Imagine that piece of food is covered in either mold or maggots. Pretty revolting. With your eyes shut, can you put it in your mouth? Chances are no, because your body doesn't want that in its mouth. So your body's going to really try and keep you from doing that. You might start to feel nauseous or something like that. So that's one of the first reasons that you have a wounded inner child, is because of your belief system. The other, another main cause is if you feel an emotion strongly or feel it frequently, it can become stuck energy in your physical body and in your energy body, so your auric field. And it then can cause health problems. So a lot of gut problems, skin problems, heart problems, those kind of things, often from stuck emotional energy. So it can cause health problems, and it will also influence the way that you think. I was a chiropractor for a long time, and often I come to a vertebra that I couldn't adjust. And if I released the emotion that was holding it out of alignment, literally 2 seconds later, 3 seconds later, it would ping back into alignment by itself. I didn't even have to do it, okay? So this stuck emotional energy has a big impact on you. And it's probably in everybody's body, they just don't realize it. To give you another example, I lived for a year in a place we had so many earthquakes, and we had some really big ones, and people died, and there was a lot of panic. Everybody's in a state of panic for a long time, for a year, and nobody slept for a year because they'd often happen at night. And so I had a lot of panic energy stuck in my body. About 2 or 3 years later, even 2 or 3 years later, after they pretty much died down, if there was a rumble of a truck, you know when you can feel the vibration of a truck coming and you can hear it coming, my body went into freeze mode because it thought it was an earthquake. And that was true of so many people. And it's literally that stuck energy in your body. So it can, as I say, it can cause health problems. Depression is often caused by stuck emotional energy in your heart. And when you think about it, when you're a child, you can't process your emotions properly. So what do? You stuff them down in a hope they'll go away, but they don't. They'll just sit there and fester. Okay, so another main cause of an inner child problem is if you have a traumatic experience, you can't process it at the time. One, because you're in fight or flight mode, so you're not going to be thinking about processing emotional stuff. Two, it can be overwhelming. You know, there can be a huge amount of fear, panic, shock, that kind of thing going on. Too much for you to process. So that's often when it can become stuck in your body too. But also when you are going around your day-to-day business, you're perceiving everything. You're hearing things, you're seeing things, smelling things, etc. all day, and you file it away in a nice, neat little system in your subconscious mind. In this state, in a traumatic experience, you can't. You're in fight or fight mode. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to have a drink. So what do? It gets filed away in little chunks. A chunk here in your mind, a chunk there in your mind. What that means is that, hold on 1 second, sorry. One, later on you can't access your memories because it's not being filed away properly. And two, your memories become distorted. So stories get made up and you actually believe they're true. It's just purely because it's all of a mixed mishmash in your subconscious mind rather than being filed away nice and neatly. And so what tends to happen if there's this traumatic experience, you say you can't process your emotions, your thoughts have got, your memories and your beliefs and your thoughts have all got filed away in a mishmash system. A part of you gets stuck in that event. There is a part of you that is reliving that event over and over again. And also later on, if you tend to think about an event that happened before that was traumatic, do you remember I said your body can't tell the difference between what's true or not? You trigger it all off in your body. Even if you're thinking about it, your body is experiencing it as though it is happening again. So there is a part of you, if you've been through a traumatic event, that is still stuck there, aged, whatever it was. Spirit showed me because I was raped when I was 13, and I am now 54, I am pretty much nearly finished healing that part of me, but she's screaming. She's been screaming for the last 40 years pretty much, because she's stuck in it. So there is a part of you that is stuck in that age, causing a lot of what you are experiencing. So, how to heal your inner child? Now, your inner child, you might have had something happen to you age 3, 10, 17, 26, 38, etc. It doesn't really matter. If you've had more than one time, you are going to do this little following sequence with each age. Okay? If you don't know what happened to you, but you are relating to these symptoms, what I would do is imagine yourself aged around 7. And that's purely because most of your beliefs are formed by around the age of 7. So see yourself age 7. So if you are seeing yourself, working on yourself as a child, imagine they are sitting on your lap. If they are an adult, you can do them standing up in front of you. Now, you're going to end up loving your inner child, but your inner child is your inner saboteur, so you might not be feeling much love for them at the moment. Your inner child might hate herself because she thinks she's naughty, bad, evil, maybe evil, blah blah blah. If she doesn't love herself, it's going to be hard for you to love her too, because she's going to be projecting all this self-hatred and stuff, or unforgiveness, self-unforgiveness, whatever, and you'll be picking it up. So if this is the case, imagine that whoever's in front of you is your daughter or son, or failing that, your friend's daughter or son, and then you are going to find it easier to have compassion and love for them. So you're going to treat them as this little child or this person that's really hurt, little and wounded and scared. So what are you going to do? You're going to look as though you're going to give them a cuddle. You're going to stroke down their hair. You're going to stroke their back, and you're just going to gently reassure them. Okay? And you're going to be telling them things like, you're safe. You're safe to be here. Now, one of the main fears of a child and the body is it fears rejection and it fears abandonment. And that is because your body dies if it is abandoned or rejected. You know, if somebody left the baby out on the street, or a young child on the street, they could die. So in a child has usually one of the main fears are fear of rejection and fear of abandonment. So you're just going to reassure them, no one's ever going to abandon you. No one's ever going to abandon you. No one's going to leave you. No one's going to reject you. I've got your back now. I'm your mother and your father. I'm your new parent, and I love you, and I'm never going to leave you. Okay? Lots of reassurance. Then you're going to tell them things like, you are so worthy and you're so deserving. You do matter, and you're so worthy and deserving of having love. You're so worthy and deserving of attention, of being appreciated. I do appreciate you. I do value you. You do matter. You are significant. You are a gift to me. You're a gift to the world. Okay, you're just going to give them lots and lots of self-praise and build them back and build them up. All right, as they're a wounded child, they need reassurance, and they need to be told that they matter. Especially if you didn't receive much attention as a child, they need to be reassured that they actually count. And you know, somebody wants them to be here, that is worth them being here. Tell them that they are lovable just as they are. They are perfect just as they are. They are enough just as they are. You can tell them they are divinely perfect, that they are an infinite being, and they're amazing. The one thing you don't want to do is do a comparison thing. So don't tell them don't use the words like special or important, because that's causing a separateness from other people. You're just going to tell them how amazing they are, but not compare and judge them to other people. Tell them that they still have their purity and innocence. No matter what they've been through, they are still pure and still have their innocence. Reassure them that it wasn't their fault. You know, if your parents are argued, maybe there was just about money. You as a child, as a 3-year-old, what do you think? You don't understand that they're arguing about money. You think it's something you've done. So reassure your inner child that it wasn't their fault. It was just purely their parents' stuff. And often it's if a parent gives you a hard time, it's because they were treated like that as a child too, and they don't know any different. I found this lovely song by the Carpenters. It's called "They Long to Be Close to You," and I sing that to my young inner child, and I can feel she really likes it. So sing to them as well. You know, if you like singing, sing to them, and try and do this once or twice a day. But also, you know, if you are out and about with your inner child, if you're out and about, like you're going for a walk or something, you can imagine they're with you for a walk. You can take them with you. You know, you can imagine holding their hand or cuddling them or that kind of thing on the walk. Okay, I've lost my last piece of paper, which was going to do the crest. Just bear with me 1 second. No, I was going to do we can do the crest on one technique. I can just make that up. Oh no, here it is. Okay, sorry, I thought I'd lost it. So other things you can do. So you've done that technique, you want to try and do that once or twice a day. Now, it's really a good idea to try and learn what your beliefs are and what triggers you. So spend a few weeks being really aware of your thoughts and your feelings. You know, carry a notepad around with you. And note how you think. Do you think positively? Do you give yourself self-praise, or are you always putting yourself down? Do you think, oh, why should I do that? It's going to fail anyway? You know, are you an optimist? Are you a pessimist? Find out what triggers certain emotions. What causes that outburst of that emotion? What caused that fear? Then see if you can work out what your beliefs are, because it is your thoughts that create your beliefs, okay? A belief is something you think over and over again, and then it becomes a belief. When it is a belief, you can then overwrite it. It does take time, so it's actually easier if you can nip it in the bud and change your thought patterns. But you can only change your thought patterns when you're aware of them. And just to let you know, if you think a certain way a lot, then it becomes a habit. You actually, if you have a thought and then an emotion, it's called a neural pathway in your brain. And if it's something that you, if it's the same reaction you have every time to a certain thought, it becomes a really strong neural pathway. Your brain is wired up to conserve energy. Your brain doesn't like to use up energy, so it will steer you down the same neural pathways, and that is why it becomes a habit to respond the same way to a certain thought. So it does take awareness, and it does take dedication to change your thought patterns, but it is worth doing. If you have a belief, if you find yourself having a negative thought, you can just simply say, "Dear God, please cancel that thought and stop that pathway. Thank you." To change your belief, if you knew you had the belief that I'm not lovable, you then need to overwrite that with "I am lovable." So do things like writing it down, sticking it on post-it notes around the place, put it as a reminder on your phone. You need to say it over and over again. You can sing it to yourself, play it over and over again on your phone. You need to just be hearing it and saying it and reading it as many times as you can in a day. Now, it takes at least 21 days to override a belief, but a core belief like this, that I'm not lovable, can actually take a long time. So it just takes perseverance, but it's worth doing. So another way you can help release your beliefs and help release your inner child is imagine yourself bigger than your body, and you are going to look down on your top of your head, and if you can conjure up love and tenderness for your mind, so you are going to send love and tenderness to your mind, and you're going to say, mind, please release the belief of blah, and please release the emotion of whatever it is. Thank you, mind, that's a command. Okay, and then your mind is also going to start to release that emotion and that belief. Now, your mind has to feel safe in order to do this, and that is why you have to come at it with love and tenderness. So if you're feeling an emotion coming on, the best way is to nip it in the bud right at the start. If your inner child gets enmeshed in this or fear, then it's harder to stop it. But if you can nip it in the bud right at the very beginning, then what you need to do is body and inner, you're safe, all is well. Okay, body, inner, I call my inner child inner. Body, inner child, you're safe, all is well. Then what you need to do is you're going to send a burst of love up to your mind. Ego, id. I'm safe, all is well, please back down. I'm safe, ego, id, please back down. Okay, because when you're having a lot of this anger and a lot of this fear, you're keeping yourself in a perpetuating cycle. If you can stop it right at the beginning, you are actually going to be reassuring your body and reassuring your mind that it's safe. What's going to happen then is that you're going to start to release a lot of the fear and anxiety, because if you can stay peaceful and calm, your body and ego are going to feel a lot less threatened. Okay, so you're going to nip it in the bud right at the beginning, and that will stop you putting the negative energies back in your body, which you can keep doing, and you're going to break that cycle. You can also just keep telling yourself, just love is real. You can just say to your ego, I'm safe, just love is real. Just love is real. Now, eventually, all this stuff that you say to your inner child is going to come back at you. So all this positive stuff, instead of this negative self-talk you're going to be hearing all the time, is going to come back to you in a positive way. You don't normally hear the voice of your body, but I have spent the last few years being like Buddha, sitting under an olive tree. And so in a lot of stillness, I can now hear the voice of my body. So when something triggers it off, I hear my body saying, feel resentful, feel fear, blah, 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 whatever it wants to do. And then my ego picks up on it, and then I start to feel that really strong emotion of fear or resentment. So I've learned it's really important just to nip it in the bud right at the beginning, because once it gets a hold on you, it's much harder. And, just calm everything down, and then it will just go away. So we have got our little inner child here, and we have spoken to her and told her lots of wonderful things about herself. Then, just to finish off, what you're going to do is imagine a beautiful ball of golden light coming down from the sky and going into their head, and fill their head up with this beautiful golden light, and then take that beautiful ball of golden light right down through their body and fill them up with bright golden light and make them glow. Okay, golden light is really good at transmuting energy. So just filling them up with golden light means that part of your body, even though you're imagining them in front of you, that wounded part will start to release. You can, other ways, you can, just when you're walking around or you're washing the dishes or in the bathroom or something, just say to yourself, give it a little bit of self-praise. I am worthy and deserving. I am worthy and deserving of love. I'm worthy and deserving of being appreciated. I am enough. I am lovable. I am beautiful. I am gifted. I am amazing. I'm God in human form. I am divine. I am divinely perfect. I'm perfect as I am, etc. Give yourself self-praise. But again, don't stick yourself on a pedestal, okay? You don't want to take your ego the other way, feeling yourself important or special, because that's going to lead to pride, and you don't want that, okay? You're just telling yourself that you're just lovely as you are, but you're not comparing yourself to anybody else. You can sit quietly and ask Mother Mary to come in and help heal your inner child. Okay, so use spirit. So you can call the angelic realm, you can use God, and say Mother Mary is a great one for healing your inner child. And also Jesus, Yeshua. He's very good at healing the inner child too. You can sit quietly and you can breathe in golden light. Breathe, imagine yourself surrounded by golden light. Breathe it in, this golden light of love. Send it down to your heart center and send it down to your physical heart, okay? Inner child needs your physical heart healing. So try and send as much love, golden light to your physical heart as you can. And send it to your energy center, your heart chakra in the middle of your chest too. You can tell the angels at night, before you go to bed, before you go to sleep, just say, angels, angelic realm, please put your energies through me and around me to clear the stuck emotional energy from my body. Now you may feel a bit of warmth or tingling, you might not feel anything. You might feel your arm or leg give a little jolt, and that's just like if you have a dream and you walk down the steps and your leg or arm gives a little jolt. Oh, you walk down the steps and you miss a step. That's what I was trying to say. You walk down the steps and you miss a step and your leg gives a jolt. And it's the same thing, that's like emotional energy leaving your body. So that might happen as the angels release that stuck emotional energy. Okay, so spirit want to really help you, but they do need to be asked. So ask God for help. Pray to God for help. Before you go to bed, just say, dear God, I pray for the highest healing possible for my inner child. And then it gives them permission to help you. You can ask Yeshua, Jesus, say, or you might have another ascended master or angel you have a particular you particularly resonate with. Ask them for help with healing your inner child. But you do have to meet spirit halfway, okay? They're not just going to do all your work for you, because then that's like you doing your child's homework. You don't learn anything. So you have to do part of the work too, and then they'll meet you halfway. You can bring out that childlike part of you. So do you remember, what did you like doing as a child? You know, hopscotch, skipping, kicking a football, playing in a puddle, playing in a pile of leaves, digging in the dirt, that kind of thing. Go and do things like that. Bring back that childlike wonder. Spend time in nature and wonder at the butterflies, wonder at the clouds and the beautiful blue sky, okay? Try and bring back that innocence. We get embroiled in work and financial stuff and house stuff, and you lose that innocence, you lose that spontaneity, you lose that joy because you get embroiled in all this other stuff. So try and spend time in nature. Just even if you have half an hour, just sit on the ground, take your socks and shoes off, play in the dirt, and wonder, look around in wonder, okay? Try and bring back that childlike stuff. And as the last one is just, you can just send love, just when you feel like it. Love to your ego, love to your mind, just reassure it it's safe. Love to your body, send love to your body. Body, I love you. I love you. I'm not going to leave you, body. I love you. Okay, just reassure your body it's safe. Actually rubbing your arms up here is a sign to your body that it is safe. And it'll just start to relax. So if you find yourself tense, rub your arms. You're safe, body. No one's going to hurt you. Okay? All right, so we are just going to finish off with the Christ unwinding technique. So this is a technique I developed with Yeshua a few years ago. And what it does is it helps clear the stuck emotional energy from your body, and it also helps you to rewrite your limiting beliefs. So if you find yourself sitting somewhere comfortable, if you just shut your eyes, then I would just like you to call on the Christ light to come in and help you. Now, it doesn't matter what religion you are, the Christ light is source energy, okay? It's just going to help you. You don't have to be, doesn't matter if you don't have to be a Christian or anything. And then what I want you to do with your eyes shut, you're going to read a sentence in front of your shut eyes. So imagine it's going across the inside of your forehead. Now, it doesn't matter about your spelling, okay? It's just your intention that counts. And your sentence is going to say, I am safe to be here and to grow up. And then just underneath, another sentence is going to be, I am lovable and enough, just as I am. Now, it works well if you can actually see the letters and read them, rather than just imagine reading them. So if you can't see your sentences, just keep telling yourself, it is safe for me to see my sentences. It is safe for me to see my sentences. Because if your mind doesn't feel safe, it won't let you see them to read them. Keep telling yourself you're safe to see them. And eventually you can actually just imagine the sentence going across and read them. That actually works well. Then what you're going to do, those sentences are going to go up into your mind and just see them going around your brain, left and right, backwards and forwards, around and around your brain, making new pathways in your brain. Keep reading your sentences. I am safe to be here and to grow up. I am lovable and enough, just as I am. Swirling those sentences around and around, backwards and forwards, up and down. And then what you're going to do, you're going to see your sentences spiral downwards, down through your head. And what happens is a Christ light's going to come with you, and it comes with your sentences, and it acts like a spinning wheel cutting through that stuck emotional energy. So seeing your sentences spiraling down through your head, down through your throat, down through the center of your chest, reading them as they're going along. I am safe to be here and to grow up. I am lovable and enough, just as I am. See them going down the center of your belly, through your pelvis, center of your pelvis. And then they're going to come out from between the top of your legs and just spiral it down between your legs. And reading your sentences as it spirals down between your legs. I'm safe to be here and to grow up. I am lovable and enough, just as I am. And then you're going to see your sentences again in front of your shut eyes, just reading them. I am safe to be here and to grow up. I am lovable and enough, just as I am. This time your sentence is going to go up your left arm. So start it up your left hand. Start spiraling up your left hand. Spiral it up your left arm. Over your left elbow. Up the your upper part of your arm. When it gets to your left shoulder, you're going to spiral it across the top of your back to your right shoulder. When it reaches your right shoulder, you're going to spiral it right back to your left one again. We do this bit twice because we store a lot of stuff in our shoulders. And once you've gone across to your left shoulder again, start to spiral it down the left side of your chest. Again, reading it as it's going along nice and slowly over your heart. It is safe for me to be here and to grow up. I am lovable and enough, just as I am. See it going down the left side of your belly. The left side of your pelvis. Down your left leg. It is safe for me to be here and to grow up. Go over your left knee. I am lovable and enough just as I am. See them sentences spiraling over your left foot, shooting off into the distance. And now we're going to do the same on the right side. So reading your sentences with your shut eyes. It is safe for me to be here and to grow up. I am lovable and enough just as I am. See them going up your right hand, up your right arm, over your right elbow, up the upper part of your arm, across. When it reaches your right shoulder, it's going to go across the top of your back to your left shoulder. And then once it's gone across your left shoulder, take it back across your right one. Spiral it down the right side of your chest. Down the right side of your belly. Right side of your pelvis. Down your right leg. It is safe for me to be here and to grow up. Over your right knee. I am lovable and enough just as I am. And then going over your right foot. Seeing them go off into the distance or into the ground. Just reading your sentences again. It is safe for me to be here and to grow up. I am lovable and enough just as I am. This time just see your sentence go outwards, and you just ask for your sentence to be sent across all time, space, dimensions, and universes. Then lastly, you just finish off by seeing your sentences going across your chest. So imagine them in big, beautiful white or golden letters, whatever you like. I am safe to be here and to grow up. I am lovable and enough just as I am. And then you just finish off by thanking the Christ light. And this technique, you can use it as often as you like. Obviously, the more often you use it, the quicker your healing is going to be. But what I suggest you doing is to change the sentences. Okay, don't just keep doing the same ones, because then you're just really limiting yourself. So it works really well to do it one day using one lot of sentences, then do it in the next day or a couple of days time using another lot of sentences. You can do it 2 or 3 times a day using different sentences. That's fine. I've just got a few examples here, but you can use your own. If you know you have a belief that you want to overwrite, use that one. Say, for example, your parents told you that you were ugly, or you had friends at school told you were ugly. So you could use this to I am beautiful as I am, or something like that. Okay, what you want to do is make sure it's in the present tense and in the positive. So you would say I am safe rather than I am not in any danger, or I am becoming safe. Okay, it's I am safe, present and positive. All right, so just a few other suggestions. I am safe to be me. I love and accept myself just as I am. I love and approve of myself just as I am. I am worthy and deserving. My body is perfect as it is. I choose to heal and grow up. God loves and appreciates me. It is impossible for me to be rejected. I am allowed to give and receive love. I am worthy and deserving of giving and receiving love. It is safe for me to give and receive love. I am innocent and pure. I have value, I matter. My body is whole and divine. And just lastly, if life is a struggle, you can just keep repeating, I intend, choose, and pray to release the struggle and have ease. Okay? I intend, choose, and pray to end the struggle or to release the struggle and to have ease. All right? And the more often you say that, the quicker you will bring that into your reality, because intending and choosing and praying is really potent. So you can keep saying that too. Okay, so good luck healing your inner child. It's really worth the effort. It will make a huge difference in your life. As I say, it just takes perseverance. It can take a while, but it's worth it. Okay, much love, many blessings from my heart to yours.